The amount city residents pay annually for EMS and fire protection services versus what townships pay per resident was a main point of contention during a public meeting held by the City of Hillsboro Wednesday at Southern State Community College. While the city initially alleged Hillsboro residents pay $130 to $150 each, while the townships currently pay $22 per resident, firefighters and township trustees said that figure was, quote, false. While there were no major resolutions during the meeting, all parties agreed they will continue to work on the negotiations in an attempt to find a long-term solution. Hillsboro Mayor Drew Hastings said that he and his administrative team believe that a fire district is still the best long-term solution for both the city and the townships. Trustees from Liberty, Jackson, Newmarket, and Washington townships submitted a proposal to the city administration, suggesting services at $30 per township resident, and they have requested a response by May 23rd.
My team was, and still is, convinced that a fire district is the permanent solution for us around here.
Every dime of the township monies on a contractual basis for fire and EMS protection has gone to the fire fund. We have not moved money, primarily because it takes every dime to run the operation. Under current budget, based on the recent reductions, we're looking at approximately a budget of $1,250,000, and there's an apparent contribution at this moment based on our current complement of contracts by townships with paint pulling out, Hammond pulling out soon. It's $271,500 from the townships, and the city pays about $978,500. So the city is essentially paying almost 75% of the total burden for total coverage.
Would I be close in estimating, Rick and Gary, that the figure is approximately $130 per resident per year?
Actually, Mayor, it's closer to $150 for Hillsboro residents and townships.
Okay, so it's in a range of $130 to $150, ma'am, per resident per township. 22 is what the townships currently pay.
Contribution.
And this goes to the argument, and I think the reality, and a little bit the sticker shock of how much townships have been underpaying for the last 30 years. There's a big disparity between $22 and what that real number is. And I am not necessarily proposing that townships pay the actual number that it is, because it would be huge. We will still have to subsidize to a degree. I just don't want it to be a back-breaking degree, which it has been.
Citizen of Hillsboro.
Yes.
Because they say they're paying the majority of the tax.
Yes.
Okay, it's not the citizens that are paying it. Let's make that clear tonight. It's because it's been misleading for a long time.
Well, it depends what you're saying by citizen. Are you talking about anybody who pays 1.5%?
I'm not talking about the city tax. Everybody working in the city pays the city tax, including the township residents.
Yes. Well, if you work in the city, yes.
Right. Or if you own property or whatever, if you make an income, you're going to pay city tax.
Okay.
Okay? If you make a profit, you're going to pay city income tax.
Okay.
But I'm talking about the citizens that live here in Hillsboro. What do they pay for fire and EMS?
It's a percentage of the income tax.
All right. So they don't pay in fire EMS.
They don't have no millage.
They don't have no millage for that.
They live in the city and they don't work. They're retired. What do they pay?
We want to know what they pay, because we don't want to subsidize them. What do you pay?
Zero.
They would pay zero. Yes. If they live in the
Okay,
city,
we got
For the city.
that would be zero.
Citizens of Hillsboro don't pay no fire tax.
No, it would be $130 a head if you average it all out.
How did you figure the price per person in the city? I think you took the $823,000 and you divided that comes in from the 0.4% of the income tax, and you divided that by the number of residents that live in the city, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a false number.
But we also took into consideration EMS collections as well.
From a number that I was given tonight, 55% of the city's income tax is produced by township people that work in the city.
Spoke with the income tax commissioner this afternoon, and I asked her, is there any way to figure that out? And she said no, it would be almost impossible for that. No, well, here's the reason. She herself, Peggy, lives on the same road that Drew lives on. But she lives in Hamer Township, his farm is in New Market. In terms of finding out exactly which township somebody lives in, on the income tax form, it doesn't have a box for a township, like which township you live in. And keep in mind, there are a lot of people from other counties, other cities that also work here.
I want you to realize that $130 per person in the city,
Yes.
that is a bogus number. That's what he was trying to get across back here. That's what the plant lady's trying to get across. Like people, she was saying she works in the city, pays income tax.
Yes.
We pay millage out the township.
Yes.
A lot of people in Hillsboro pay zero. That 130 is a bogus number.
I agree, it's a big knot. A lot of stuff, believe me, walking into this city administration and trying to untangle.
Welcome to politics.
Yes, ma'am. I'm trying to untangle it. Well, yes, that's right. But see, you know, as somebody who was a resident just like you 4 months ago, who was really ticked off and ran for this office, so I tend to think more like you than anything else. When I hear all this talk and suspicion, my mind goes right to, well, this is exactly why maybe a district makes sense, where everybody is proportionately paying the same amount with an independent board of governance, and you know exactly what's going on. Look, talks are alive. We're talking with Liberty. We put something together with Liberty. It'll happen with the other townships that are currently concerned about this, and we'll make this happen. I'm trying to solve this problem. Not everybody's going to be happy. But if at the end of the day, that's what you want to do, long-term contract, so be it, that's what we'll do.